Parents are really mad about the new Minions movie. They feel that this scene here was way too dark, and I can see why. The scene depicts a strange ceremony being committed by some of the characters. Now, parents want to know why Illumination added this scene to the movie. Today, we're breaking down this scene and others to try and uncover why they keep putting them in innocent movies. By the end of this video, you will never see the Minions movie the same way again.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but don't go see that movie, and don't be taking your kids to go see it either.
Not take your kids to see this.
After watching the trailer for the new Minions and Monsters movie, we will not be watching that movie.
Over the years, the Minions have had several questionable scenes that have sent parents raging online. While most of the time it is for inappropriate humor, rarely is it because they feel the imagery is quote-unquote too demonic. But people online feel that Illumination crossed a line by adding this ceremony scene in the latest Minion movie. After seeing it, I understand why. The scene feels like it was trying to depict something way too dark for a young audience. While that might be acceptable content for adults, some feel that it has no place in this movie. The scene starts with a group of minions sitting around a symbol drawn on the floor. It shows one of the creatures reading from a book of spells while others grab onto his hand. When they show the book, we can see them trying to summon an octopus-looking demon. After reciting the spell, the symbol begins to glow, and green fog emerges before an octopus demon is shown. What happens next is the most revealing part of it all. When the demon is finally shown, he is a small, innocent-looking creature. He promises to give the minions what they want before introducing himself as the Deceiver.
Hey, I'm Gary Orcam Oliver Magma Ichabod the Deceiver.
Those familiar with the Bible know who the Deceiver is meant to be, so it is quite interesting that they named this creature the Deceiver. Now, parents want to know why Illumination added this scene to the movie.
Because why is there a whole seance scene, summoning the dead scene? A children's movie. Little kids' minds are so easily influenced and they are so precious. We need to protect their eyes, their ears, and everything, especially as Christians. And seeing that trailer made me feel some type of way towards that movie. I'm not the only mother who felt this when we saw the trailer, because I've seen other people talk about it as well.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but don't go see that movie, and don't be taking your kids to go see it either. I was watching the NBA Finals, and I was so disturbed to see this preview of this new Despicable Me movie and how everything is now just blatant. It's just in our faces. Maybe some time ago, in times past, decades ago, things were very covert, but now, it is very in your face, and the devil ain't hiding it, and he's banking on the fact that we are completely oblivious and desensitized and unaware.
Let me give you the facts, straight from the official plot. In this new movie, the minions get their hands on a spell book taken from an evil sorcerer they used to work for. And they use that spell book to summon monsters. That is the literal plot. A spell book, a summoning ritual, monsters unleashed onto the world, and the creature they summon, his full name in the movie is Gary Orcam Oliver Magma Ichabod the Deceiver. The Deceiver!
Not take your kids to see this. This Minions, and I know people go, it's innocent, it's cartoon. No, they are doing seance witchcraft on these movies now.
People have always felt that the Minions have had questionable imagery since the start. They are made by a company called Illumination, and the creatures look like one-eyed monsters. But what is shown in this specific scene seems so overt that it's hard to ignore. Why would they place a scene of the Minions summoning the Deceiver from the underworld? Many feel that the way this is all depicted is the biggest problem. The Minions are shown happily summoning this evil like it's a fun time with the guys. When the monster finally shows its face, they present them cute and cuddly, almost like they want the kids to fall for him. The whole thing paints these practices as fun and bubbly when they are literally calling upon the forces of the underworld. I understand why people feel like this sends the wrong message. Those who watch these movies are the most impressionable. What they consume as kids can help mold who they become. So is it really necessary to introduce things like this when they're at that age? It is not just this movie either. It seems like writers have been sneaking scenes like this into many movies and television shows. My son wanted me to talk about this episode of Gumball that he was shown. This episode was called The Craft, and in the episode, they do something very similar to what is shown in the Minions movie. Gumball is invited to join a witch coven, and he is depicted participating in the initiation ritual. They show the witches passing around a chalice while a deity reads out of a spell book. To complete the ritual, each character must put something from their body into the chalice. Once they do, they finish the incantation and pass the chalice around so each member can drink from it.
All right, Coven. We will now offer a part of ourselves to the chalice. Spirit of the yearbook, eternal and all-powerful, we call you forth to assist us in attaining all we wish for. I drink of my sisters, and I ask to...
They essentially show an initiation ritual in this scene, and most parents aren't even aware of it. This is what is casually depicted in these shows, and just like we saw with the Minions, they presented this entire thing as just a silly old time. You can see why people feel like it demystifies these beliefs when it's presented in this manner. Gumball and the Minions are not the only shows with this imagery either. It gets even worse when you look at shows like Gravity Falls. Again, they depict a ritual in one of the scenes, but this has to be the darkest representation yet. In the episode, the cast join hands while standing around a giant symbol on the ground. They begin to repeat an incantation, and we know what happens next. The imagery in this one though was through the roof. Look at how they presented the villain in the show, or how this character is depicted. Notice the hat, that tells you everything. In fact, this entire show is full of this imagery. Why though? Why is this same theme recycled throughout so many of these shows? It's not hard to see why some people feel this imagery is being inserted deliberately. There is even a similar scenario depicted in an old episode of SpongeBob SquarePants, proving this has been going on since we were kids. In the episode, they show Squidward attending a meeting of a secret group he is a part of. Look at how the building of this organization is depicted when he arrives. The characters are also shown doing secret handshakes and participating in strange coded rituals.
Secret ritual.
Once again, this concept was openly depicted in a cartoon. Now, I understand this is all entertainment, and some would argue that they're just telling interesting stories. I do not think that is the problem people are having with this content. What people seem to have an issue with is the repetitive use of this imagery in shows that are not about those themes. The Minions have nothing to do with spells and rituals, so why put them in the movie? The same thing could be said about SpongeBob and countless other shows with similar visuals. It almost feels forced into the plot with almost no actual value. I want to know what you guys feel about this kind of imagery showing up in these movies and shows. Do you feel like it's harmless and is no big deal? Or do you understand why people are upset and want studios to stop? I personally feel certain things do not need to be put in these kids shows. This is clearly one of those things. I do not think any movie made for a young audience should present any of this kind of stuff as good or cool, even if it's fictional. The fact that more and more of this stuff is ending up in these shows and movies does worry me. Like most parents, we fear that our children are being introduced to things that do not align with the morals we're trying to instill in them. It does seem like when our children are consuming shows like this, it could undo what we're trying to teach them. Not only do they have scenes like this, but plenty of other moments that, as a parent, make me uncomfortable. I always end up asking myself why they needed to put it in the movie. Do kids really think that butt jokes are that funny? Because it feels like 5 minutes can't go by in one of these movies without one coming up. Who is actually writing this stuff thinking it's peak comedy for kids? There are so many other shows and movies I didn't get into in this video. Things like Harry Potter openly depict these themes in a glorifying way. That's exactly why I think I should make a part 2 to this video. If this is something you want to see, comment part 2 below. This theme is not just being shown in cartoons either. Big companies have started using the same concept to sell their products. Take this Arby's commercial, which again depicted the same imagery. In the commercial, they present the Order of the Potato Cakes, a fictional secret group trying to fulfill the prophecy of bringing back the potato cake. It was one of the most bizarre commercials out there.
Hello, and welcome to the Order of Potato Cakes. We've seen you in the comments section. Some might say you were obsessive or deluded. Heck, some might consider it corporate harassment. But in the Order of Potato Cakes, we call it passion, because you see the world like we see the world. The Order has taken over Arby's social media to ensure the prophecy is fulfilled. Don't worry, they're fine. But the will of the Order has prevailed, and now I can officially proclaim potato cakes are back at Arby's. The only thing missing is you. Our ranks grow stronger each day, but must remain vigilant as I'm ordered. Now, our time and the order of potato cakes needs your help. The more you comment on Arby's potato cakes, the more you purchase Arby's potato cakes, the closer we all get to true potato cake enlightenment. Join us. Help us fulfill the prophecy. And together, we will demonstrate one simple thing to the powers that be. Potato cakes must remain. This concludes our orientation.
So if you want to see what Arby's was really saying with this ad, watch this video right now. And if you want to further support the channel, consider becoming a Patreon member. When you join, you support the channel and get over 65 exclusive videos. Another way to support the channel is by subscribing and hyping this video. Your hype literally tells the algorithm that more people need to see this. Well, that's it for this video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.